Hello, I'm David Risley, and I want to talk to you about the 5 lists for profits. Now, I created these lists primarily as an aid for brainstorming your niche, because I know that when you're first starting out, one of the most difficult things to do is to find out what your market is going to be and who you're going to serve and what business you're ultimately going to go in. And it can be a big decision. Now, one of the things that I encourage you to do is to not get ahead of yourself in terms of thinking about all the what ifs associated with your market. As I said before, it's one of those things to where you are going to change, you are going to pivot. And if you do this right, what you're doing is you are making little baby steps along the way. It's not one of those things to where everything rides on this decision right now and that you're going to be 3 years down the road and figure out that you made the wrong one. It's not like that at all. You're going to make a decision now so that you can actually start. And then you're going to move in little baby steps. And if you have to make a little pivot into a slightly different direction, you do it. So this is not something where you need to worry too much about the what ifs, okay? But what you do need to do is actually start. So that's what the 5 lists for profits are. And let's go ahead and get started with the first list. The first list that you need to make is the things that you're passionate about. Now, this is an important list because, as you've probably heard before, it is nice to have a blog based on your passion. Now, I'm the first to tell you that it's not a requirement. In fact, there are some passions you may have that are just not going to be a good foundation for a business. So I want you to get that out of the way right now. But at the same time, there is a really good motivational factor about the things that you are passionate about. So what I want you to do is look at yourself. What is it that you enjoy doing? What is it that you would do whether you got paid or not? And just list those things down, okay? And put them on a piece of paper. The second list that I want you to make is the things that you'd be willing to learn. Now, this is another important list for you to make because there are things that could potentially be a good business model for you, but you're not an expert on them right now. And I know that's one of the biggest barriers for many people getting started is that they think, I'm not an expert at anything. Why would anybody listen to me? And I totally understand. But don't let that stop you. So what I want you to do right now is make a list of those things that you would love to learn about, that you are interested enough to actually learn about, and just list those things down. The third list that I want you to make are those things that you have experience doing, but you're not particularly passionate about. Now, it just is what it is that sometimes we've been doing something for a living in a 9-to-5 or what have you, and we've gotten particularly good at it. It's not so much your passion, but you're really good at it, and you can actually provide value to other people by doing those things. So what I want you to do is that if that works for you, I want you to list that right now on your third list. Those things that you're good at, those things that you know that you can do, where you can make somebody else's life better or help them in some way. It doesn't mean that you have to be particularly passionate about it, but I want you to list it down if you're good at it. The fourth list that I want you to have are those things that you know somebody who's good at it. Now, we all have circles of friends and people in our family, and the thing is, they likely have skills that you don't. And if you look at the skills that they have and you think that that could be of value to other people, I want you to go ahead and write that down right now. And sure, and in parentheses, go ahead and write down who that person is. Now, here's the reason why I encourage you to make this list, and that is that you don't have to be the expert on a business in order to make a business around it. You could be the person that does the web stuff and does the marketing and let them come in with the knowledge and you guys partner together and make a business. Now, I'm not going to go too deep into that topic right now, but I want you to open yourself up to that possibility with this fourth list of things that you know other people that are good at those things. Doesn't mean you're good at it, but you know they are, and possibly there could be a partner for you down the road. The fifth list are those things that people are buying. Now, this one is an interesting list, but the reason it's here is very simple. The passion alone is not a good idea for a business. Simply knowing about something is not necessarily a good thing for a business. What you need to look for is the intersection between those things and what people are willing to pay for. Now, you probably have seen, just by observation and by maybe things that where you are a client of, you've seen things that people are willing to buy. And certainly, I can help you further in terms of investigation on things that people would be willing to pay for. It's something that we do inside the Finding Your Niche course inside the Academy. But right now, you probably have a pretty good gut feeling of what people are willing to pay for. You probably know some of the big markets out there, fitness, the whole make money thing. There's many of them on the internet. But just in your own sphere, what is it that you have experienced on the internet that you see that people are buying that you know it's a big market? It does not matter if you think that you're a good fit for it or that you have anything to do with it whatsoever. I just want you to list it down if you see that people are actually spending money in that market. What we're going to be doing down the road is looking at all these lists, and we're going to be looking for the intersections on these lists, okay? So those are the big 5 lists. That's what I want you to list right now. Now, what I want you to do is grab a piece of paper, or you can open up a Google Doc, whatever it might be, and simply get busy with these 5 lists. With that, I'm going to leave you to it, and I'll be in touch with you in a few days.